Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cool cats and groovy souls, welcome to the ultimate time machine of talk. It's a blast from the past, a vibe from the vault, and a journey through the jams and the stories that shaped the decades. You're listening to the Blast from the Past podcast.
Wow. Oh, wow. That was an awesome intro. Yeah? Welcome to Season 3, Episode 5, but not just any old Episode 5. This is our first YouTube live podcast. Are you excited, boys?
Yeah.
I don't think you're... Are you excited, boys?
Was that not exciting?
No, that didn't sound very exciting at all. That sounded like you're ready to take a nap. Are you excited?
It's exciting enough, yes.
I think it's awesome. I'm ready for this. Let's get this going, man. I think this is going to be awesome. So nonetheless, the people out there in the world that's watching right now, hello. My name is Jeff Holmes. I'm the host of the Blast from the Past podcast, and I got my two boys here. Guys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Kendrick. I'm his one son. No.
The only real son. He's the only real son, right?
I'm Seth. I'm the only real son. I look exactly like him.
That is true. I mean, I
I've
can't
been
really.
prepared. We went on a work trip. Like two different people that look similar.
Yeah, I really can't say much. They both kind of act and look like me, so there's really, there's no denying either one of those guys. But hey, guys, welcome back. Are you guys ready for this? This is a whole different ballpark. Live on YouTube. We've been talking about this for a minute, right? Like we've been talking about how we were going to do this and how this is going to be an option, but yet we never actually did it. But now, guys, we get to actually do it. Yeah. All right, so today's podcast, right, is going to be called Rewind or Fast Forward. Now, what do you guys think this is going to be about?
We got a little bit of an idea.
Okay, well, tell me what you think.
It's going to be, clearly it's comparing stuff to the past and the future. So
correct.
That's the main concept here.
So the concept is if you rewind, it means it's something in the past. And obviously, if you want to fast forward, you want to go to the future, right?
Right.
Back to the future. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Trilogy ever.
The best trilogy, 100%.
Spider-Man better.
No, not compared to, no. I don't think they'll be talking about the Spider. Well, it depends on what Spider-Man you're talking about.
The original.
Like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? Yeah, maybe. They might be talking about that. We'll have to see.
The second one didn't even get the trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that is that. Anyway, so today's podcast obviously is going to be talking about that rewind, fast forward. The first question we got up on here, guys. This one I can relate to. I want to see if you guys can relate to this. Sometimes you were into it, sometimes you weren't. First question. Rewind or fast forward, Saturday morning cartoons or streaming anytime? Now, which do you love more? The ritual of waking up for cartoons or today's bingeable shows? Now, do you guys remember or recall a time where you actually woke up on Saturday mornings just to watch a cartoon?
I don't think...
No,
I don't think
cartoon.
I was a being at that point. Like, I wasn't conscious enough to make decisions.
Like you didn't understand?
Like,
yeah,
I
but you didn't know like Saturday was the day out of school?
No.
What's up, Laura? Laura's in the house. What's going on?
Hey.
Yeah, so I mean, so you never actually... I don't recall if you actually watched the... I don't recall. Seth, what about you? Do you remember watching cartoons on Saturday morning? Like woke up at early Saturday morning?
Not cartoons, but definitely shows.
But like were they only Saturday shows or were they like everyday shows?
I think everyday shows.
Yeah, so
Was it like
there was
Ant
no...
Farm?
Huh?
Ant Farm?
Yeah.
something like that.
Ant Farm?
Farm.
That's
Good
it. Oh,
show.
that's Disney,
Rabbits.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cartoon Network.
That was actually, yeah. See, I didn't grow up with the Disney Channel like you all did. I grew up with PBS. That's what I grew up with.
Well, yeah.
Y'all remember PBS out there, right? Make some noise in the comments. PBS, yeah. Public Broadcast. That's what I had. Public Broadcast Station. We had Elmo's World.
Mm-hmm.
We had Big Bird. We had Thomas Train. Y'all remember Thomas Train?
And
Caillou.
then, yeah.
And what did
Caillou?
you? Caillou was not
The
on.
cancer patient.
It was not on. What?
There's a lot of theories going around that he's a cancer kid.
Yeah.
Maybe he was.
Dinosaur Train. I remember that as a kid.
That was okay. So now we're talking about your being a
No,
kid because
he
that sure
watches,
as world
he
wasn't
watches
mine.
that now.
Yeah, he does
No,
watch
don't
that now.
watch
Don't
that.
lie.
No.
You do, 100%.
No.
What,
yeah.
What does Saturday morning mean?
So Saturday. Okay. So here's my morning ritual. Me as a 6-year-old kid.
Mhm.
Monday through Friday, do the normal stuff. Went through the kindergarten, all that good stuff. But on Saturdays, you knew specifically, you would wake up. Now, during the week, Monday through Friday, it was so hard to wake me up. Yeah, Alex got it. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to throw this on the screen. He's over here talking. Alex, what's up, Alex? Dragon Tales. That was an
Yeah.
awesome show.
I remember
Awesome
watching it.
show.
I remember watching it. Hey Arthur, yeah.
Yeah, he's got another. Hey Arthur. I don't think I watched that one as much, but
Wait, what? Let me get it. That's the one where he's an animal, right?
I think so. Like he's an
Oh, wait,
anteater.
no, wait.
Peter. Yeah.
An anteater, yeah. Is that right?
Wait, hey,
I don't know. Is that right, Ann?
Is that one? Or is it the square
Alex,
face guy?
is it an
I
anteater?
don't remember.
I don't remember either. But nonetheless, it is what it is. But yeah, so our ritual would start on Saturday morning. I would be up during the week, Monday through Friday. Mind you, it took forever to me to wake up. But Saturday morning, it just something inside of me just clicked. And I would wake up, legitimately, I would wake up at like probably 6:30 in the morning, have my bowl of cereal ready right in front of the television. And I mean like, we didn't have the big screen TVs. We had a small TV in a corner of the room. So I'm literally sitting in front of the TV, probably 10 to 12 inches away from that screen. It's probably why my eyes are bad. But anyway, I literally did that. And that was what we did. And I would sit there from 7 a.m. all the way until at least noon and watched every cartoon. I'm trying to remember all the show. Okay, so my big one, Thundercats.
I guess.
Yeah.
Thundercats. I would watch Care Bears.
What?
I don't remember Care Bears that much.
Yeah, Care Bears
Why are you
before your
watching
day.
Care Bears.
Care Bears was good. You learn to be nice when you're watching Care Bears because you just learn all the good
rainbows
stuff.
in that.
So, I know all the rainbows. And then I also watched, occasionally I would watch Captain Planet. I told you about that story, right? Captain Planet.
I know what it is, but I don't think you told me
Yeah.
the story.
Okay. Yeah. So Captain Planet's an awesome show. I used to watch that all the time. So those three were pretty much the ones that I watched the majority of. But yeah, I mean, but comparing that to being able to watch anything you want, whenever you want, as much as you want. Would you rather have the nostalgic wake up in the morning and have something to look forward to every Saturday morning? Or do you guys you like being able to wake up and just, if you want to watch Care Bears today, you can do that?
Oh, no. This is definitely a future thing. Because I'm watching a show right now. And if I wasn't able to watch it like right now, I'd be pissed.
Really?
Yeah, I
See, I'm
want to
okay.
wait until next week.
Oh my God, you would
Till the
die.
next episode comes
You would
out.
absolutely die. In the 80s and 90s,
Well,
you would have
I don't
died
know.
because you would go not only just a day or two, but you would go an entire week. Sometimes they would actually. There has been times that they do live, something like the dog show or something like that, and so that would be on the same day your daggone show was. So then you'd have to wait an extra week to be able to see it. What's up, Brooke? Welcome in the house. Welcome. Oh, Brooke's got a good one. Y'all remember Gumby?
Yeah.
You gotta explain it to me.
You don't remember Gumby?
It was
It's,
like the green dude.
he's like a little green, flexible, rubber-looking dude.
Yeah, it's like made out of clay.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
100% claymation, yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a
Oh,
little
yeah, I
pony
remember
dog
now.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, does anybody remember the name? What was the name of the pony that was in there?
I have no idea.
Pony? I don't know.
Adventures of Gumby and something.
Said hey.
What's up, Brooke?
She also said, do you remember the 700 Club?
Yeah, kinda. I kinda remember 700 Club. Not enough to. I don't think that was something I would just wake up and watch, but yeah, I do kind of remember that.
I remember that one the dinosaur show that I hated.
There was one like a
was
lost.
scary.
It was like not like a lost in.
The one where like the real dinosaurs.
Are you talking about the one where they got the mom and dad was in a car and they got lost and they went into the ground in an earthquake and they woke up in
At
prehistoric?
The end, they died to the asteroid.
Oh, you're talking about not the mama.
Good.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, dinosaurs!
Oh my god.
What are
That
you
was so
talking
scary
about?
When I was a kid.
Yeah, Laura said it's Gumby and Pokey. Pokey was the name of the horse. I knew it was something weird like that.
I had all the movies for that.
Thank you, Laura, for that. Huh? What'd you say?
For Gumby.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, I think I bought
it too at one point, but I think I lost it.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a thing for me.
I lost it to my.
Brooke said, "Not the mama."
Yep.
Dude, I
But no,
hated that
dinosaurs
so much.
was cool
Dude,
back in the
Baby
day.
was the scariest one.
But, yeah, it was kind of scary. You know, here's something funny. When I first went to Walt Disney World's Hollywood Studios, this was back in 2004. They actually had.
Before I was born.
Yes, it was before you. Thanks
After I
for
was born.
thanks for telling about you. But yeah, so when we were there, I got to see the original outfits, and they were actually huge outfits. Like I didn't realize how big those characters actually were, but they were huge. But I got to see that. That was kind of cool.
So break news in terms
Well, better not be no breaking news interrupt my show. That's all I got to say.
What? Trump?
But no, he's just, yeah, right? Something Trump did. But no, it would happen. And yeah, and that was another thing. Like, you got a point, Alex. Anytime you be watching a cartoon on Saturday morning, if something broke in, something was like big news, something local, whatever, you did not get to watch that part of that cartoon ever.
Oh, well,
There was, unless you watched reruns years down the road. Now, I mean, you might be able to get it then. But like now, you can go buy the DVD or
I feel
whatever.
like when I was a kid, it was hard to keep track of what you're watching because it just come on randomly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
no,
could be
that's
watching
true.
the
But
same
I mean,
episode for
but
like
that's
2 weeks. 100%.
But you know, another thing that's really cool about that though is the fact that when you're watching that stuff, you kind of get in a routine. So you only have the same 5 shows, and they don't change it very often. But when they do change it, you know, hopefully it's another show that's even as good or better than what you're already watching. But
we need the next question finally.
yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
We would say let's go to the future on that one.
So you want to be able to watch bingeable shows all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Would you rewind to your childhood or fast forward to retirement? If you had a time remote, remember that movie?
I mean, who wouldn't
Click.
go back to when they were retired?
Would you go back to being a kid, or would you skip ahead to rest and relaxation?
I'd go back when I was 5.
You'd go back to when you were 5?
Invest in Bitcoin. Are we talking about, do we retain our memories?
It doesn't
Or
say
we just
that.
going back?
It just says you would just
So
go
you
back.
don't even know. You won't even, like,
Yeah, you don't even know anything.
you're not feeling happiness from it.
Well, if you went backwards, probably not. But if you went forward, you would know more than you did. So you would just wake up and be like super smart and know all this stuff had happened.
I guess. But didn't even know you went to the future.
If you went forward, all you would know is the stuff that happened in the past.
Exactly, but
Yeah,
you
so
would
you just
you
feel
would
like you
immediately
lived your
would
life.
remember everything that happened though, because like you were there.
Yeah, but that's why they have books and stuff.
You'd have to remember everything. I think that's the only way that one will
In
work.
a class called history class.
We would all go back to when we were kids. There's a lot of stuff you can do when you're younger.
Yeah, I
compared
mean,
to when you're older. If you're 80, you're not even be able to get up half the time. So
yeah, I mean that's probably quite true. So you would say, Kenny, you would go in the past,
yeah. Well,
and
he's-
Seth, would you go to the future or would you go to the
Literally,
past?
you're
I
saying-
would go to the future.
Laura
You'd
said
want to be
she'd
the
go
older
the
you.
past.
Actually, no, pass. Yeah, pass.
Yeah. A kid all the way.
Yeah,
So she'd have to redo a whole life though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is like, you know,
You can make
mean-
different choices, though.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's if though. That's if you knew. All right, so the next one, that was a pretty good one. And me myself, I would probably redo a kid. If you could choose like what age you would go to, what age would you go?
5.
Kenny, you said 5. Seth, what would you do? What age?
In the past,
Yeah.
Well, come on, buddy.
6.
36, so you just one up on me. Retirement.
Teresa says to retirement. That's only going to be about what, a year and a half, Teresa? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm throwing that out there. No, I'm playing. No, but if you had an age, Seth, what did you say your age would be?
Like 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
6, 7.
Okay. Alex says, nah, take me to the future. He wants to go to the future too. Cool. See, I don't know. I'm like, I think my perfect age would probably be 15.
When
I
she
think
was
15 would
18,
be
could you
good.
drink when you were 18?
No, you couldn't drink.
No.
When she was 18, you
No,
might
well,
have
you act like I was freaking. Yeah, it was in the 1900s, but it wasn't that long ago.
So
I hope
did
she's
you have
listening.
to go back to your time?
Brooke, did you hear that? Your time. That's what they're talking about back in the
I didn't say that. I said your
1800s,
time,
dude.
not hers.
1800s. That's crazy.
5.
5. Whoo.
I'm telling you, 5 is like a perfect number.
That is a pretty good number.
You
That is a pretty good
gain
number.
Brain.
Getting sentience.
No, I hear you. All right, guys, if you're listening right now, thank you guys for tuning in tonight's to our awesome live podcast we've never done before. But make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you share it because we're going to be here for a little bit. All right, so number 4. Now, this one's my favorite one on the list. Which decade would you rewind to live in and why? 80s, 90s, 70s. What era had the best vibe for you and why?
Are we the same we?
Yeah.
Because depending on what you are, it's not very helpful to go back in time.
Well,
Yeah.
would you wish you were raised in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Or would
I
you...
think- Well, what's the difference between 80s and 90s that much?
Actually, a big difference.
Television.
What? A phone? A phone?
Television.
A television?
Wow.
you got
No,
three
there was
channels
way
on?
more than just television difference.
Did they have computers back then?
Yes. Yes, we did.
The
Not
vacuum-
as cool as they are now.
We play some Pong.
Pong.
What they had?
We did have Pong, actually. Yeah, we had Sega Genesis, all that stuff in the 80s. We had Nintendo, Sega Genesis. We had Pong on Genesis, right?
Right.
And Atari. We had that on Atari. But no, I mean, I don't know.
They're saying 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I got a lot of people going on there. So, Laura, look here. Who's got this? What's this? Yeah, Brooke does feel like she's ancient. So, Alex was the first one to comment on that in the 70s. He'd go back to the
Mark
70s.
said he's going to retire this year.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Teresa said 80s. 80s was definitely the right year. I'm not going to lie. That was probably one of the best of ever, right? I agree with that 100%.
I think the 90s. was cool.
Mark, he's going to retire this year. Yeah, that's probably true. But he'll be saying that probably for the next 5
He
years.
said you want to go to the 60s, bro, going below.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man.
He's like, I
That's
want to go all the way back.
60s. That probably was a good time. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of carefree stuff happened in the 60s and 70s. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ain't gonna lie. Brooke says 2000s. That's probably a really good one too. I definitely I would hit that up. I definitely like that one. Ah, what's up? Anthony Brown's up on it. 90s. He wants to go back to. Would you? I don't know if I would relive the 90s. 90s was fun. I was a teenager, but I mean, maybe the late 90s. I would be all about it, like 96, 97, because that's about when I was about to graduate. So that was actually kind of cool then. But I don't know if it'd be before that though, man. I don't know. 90s is cool. 90s is cool. Ain't gonna lie, but I don't know. So you guys, what do you think? Kenny, what'd you say?
I said the 90s.
You said the 90s? And Seth,
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
Which one did you say the Artario was in?
That would be the 80s.
I want to go back to 80s.
80s, it was fun. It was fun. Carefree, did whatever you wanted to do. It was just a chill out, relaxing kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And they had the best cartoons in the 80s, best music in the 80s. They had it all. All right. Now, check this one
We
out.
can listen to that music now.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean, that's
problem
true,
now.
but it doesn't have the same, like, you know what's bad about it is when you get into that and you start listening to music from the 80s, it sounds so much different now on today's, like, high-tech sound systems and speakers. It doesn't have the same effect.
I think that's just
The
boomer
whooshing
right
sound in the speakers, that's what made the 80s for me. Number 5, rewind to a moment you'd relive forever. What is it? That one memory you wish you could go back and loop over and over again. Do you have anything special like that?
No.
now. Maybe.
I got one, but mine's kind of cheesy.
What I would go back to
Yeah, like the one memory.
before I watched my favorite show.
What would that be?
I don't know. I got like 600 of them. But
Okay.
What
Me,
do you want me to name one?
Dexter.
Dexter, I guess. But I mean, I watched that recently, bro. I don't need a refresher right now.
mine's my first time at Walt Disney World. The whole Pinocchio experience, I've explained that already, but that was an awesome experience. Being able to relive that'd be pretty sweet. No lie. All right, so and Seth, did you have a special moment that you wanted to relive?
Not yet.
Not yet. That's crazy word.
That's pretty funny. All right, number 6. Would you fast forward 10 years? What does your life look like? Okay.
What our life would look like in 10 years?
Where do you see yourself, your family, or even the world in 2035?
Somebody said they go back to when their kids are born.
Aw. That's some sweet stuff. I gotta share that one. Alex, to the day my kids were born.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
Oh, whatever.
I'd be there to prevent it.
He's the man, buddy. Whatever. Awesome. But yeah, so you fast forward 10 years, what does your life look like?
Well,
10 years.
What you guys think I'm supposedly going to be homeless, so we'll see how that goes.
Kenny's gonna be homeless 10 years. Seth, what about you, my man? What you gonna be like?
I don't know. Probably a wife and 2 kids.
Wife and 2 kids in 10 years.
Somebody said graveyard, bro.
Who said graveyard?
Wow.
Mark.
Oh, wow. That's true. That's true, Mark. Yeah, I'm gonna be counting down those moments for sure. That's right around that retirement age, I believe. I believe that's true. Yeah, I mean, I think, Laura had a good one. Big family reunion. That'd be a cool one.
Like emojis, bro.
So, I don't know, 10 years from now, man. You know, I think 10 years from now, my world's going to be different. Hopefully in a positive way. Be driving some brand new car. Be chilling out, relaxing on an awesome cruise. I am not going to be in a nursing home in 10 years,
Oh,
dude.
she supposedly is.
Teresa.
Oh. Yeah, what's up, Teresa? Yeah, nursing home. That's probably in the cards one day too. But no, I think cruising and just relaxing and living literally on a boat and just chilling all the time. That's what I'm thinking.
Dad's not going to have any great kids in 10 years, I'll tell you that. Oh my God.
Yeah. Mark, I think he is supposed to live forever. I think that's the deal he made with the devil. That's what I think. So, Brooke said, hopefully enjoying some grandkids by then. Yeah, I mean,
Sam said she'll be married to a 90-year-old.
married to an old dude. That's funny. Brooke with some grandkids. Yeah, I don't know. You may not have to wait 10 years. Who knows? We'll have to see what's up with that. And then that one right there, that one looks familiar. That one might be a stalker. I'll be married to an old dude in 10 years. Yeah, I've always been 10 years older than her. That's for sure. All right, so next one up. This is a good one. So those of you that feel the pain on this next one, I want to hear it. Rewind or fast forward? Would you do mixtapes or Spotify playlist? Are you making a mix on a cassette or curating on your phone? Which do you guys prefer to do?
This is a bad question, bro.
This isn't for you. This is for my listeners.
Question.
This is for the people that matter right now. This, for me, I kind of like the Spotify. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I like being able to go in and just hit that Spotify and just say whatever.
DJ, how are you gonna do
Yes,
it?
yeah. No, hey, we did that back in the day with cassettes, my man.
Yeah, real DJs.
Yeah, isn't it stop?
Hey, I was a real DJ. I've been DJing since I was like 10.
She said phone.
Yeah, I think the phone is kind of the answer to that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody would be able to do it any other way. I don't. Once you've done that, like you've been able to just go in and just add the songs you want, do whatever you want, and then have to go back to that. I don't think I'd be able to do it anymore.
It's way cheaper too.
Even when I worked, so even back in the day when I interned a little bit for like WBDC in Huntingburg. One of the things I remember is they used to have physical CDs that you would have to take off the wall shelf, open them up, and load them into a CD player. That's pain you guys will never feel. You will never understand.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're not old.
All right. So what do you? So 8-track. Oh my God, Mark just said 8-track.
What is
Wow. Yeah, Mark. What is that? That, my friend, was from the 70s. That's Mr. Mark right there for you. 100%. All right. Would you rather? Oh boy. Would you rather rewind to fix a mistake or fast forward to pass a problem? Do you face things heads on, or do you just skip to the hard part?
There's nothing to fix yet.
Yeah, but I'm like, right now you had a choice.
Well, right now I got nothing to fix. I'd go forward and fix the problem.
So you go forward to pass the problem.
Pass it,
So you wouldn't have. It's kind of like goes back to that whole click.
It fixes it in my mind.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to deal with it. Like what those circumstances, you don't deal with it. So what would you do? You'd say you'd fast forward, just go through it, go through the hard part. What about you, Seth?
I'd probably go back.
I'd go gambling and then skip.
What if you won?
It's good.
Yeah,
But then you would skip it all. Then you would
That's good.
you wouldn't
I
know
got
where it
the
went.
money.
Yeah, if you were lost and you went forward, you're like, oh, you're on the street.
Homeless, just like I predicted. That's predicted. Brooke said she would rewind. She would rewind and go back and fix. That's cool.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
cool.
more of a question for old
pretty-
people.
yeah.
We got a lot of things to
Yeah.
fix.
What's up, Matthew? How you doing? He'd say fix a problem from the past. That's a good one. I like that one.
Same.
So next one up.
Same.
Rewind to the best toy you ever had. What was it? Bring up some nostalgia here and debate on what toys actually ruled. In your day, Kenny, you're the youngest of the group. We'll start with you. What was your favorite toy growing up?
My Iron Man.
Your Iron Man?
I can tell you how he died. I
What did
was
you do?
biking in the backyard of our old house, and then I ran him over.
Dude,
He broke into pieces.
that is horrible. That's like
I
a
think
horrible
I broke
story.
Grandma's ankle once trying to keep him away from her.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember that too. She almost went down for good. Seth, what about you, man? What toy do you remember and is just the best thing you ever had? Like the one toy you remember? Or do you remember it?
I don't really
My
have a
PS3.
toy. It's not a
PS3?
toy. It's
That's something Seth would say. PS3.
no, it's not a toy.
It's a very nerd thing to say. But for me, I don't know. Like for
See,
me,
it's hard.
You don't have a toy.
yeah. No,
You haven't had toys since you were like 12.
dude, whatever. My favorite toy growing up, actually I would have to say past tense toys. My favorite
Skip it.
would be skip it. That was oh my god, that's so cheesy of a little game thing. But yeah, that was a toy that, yeah, definitely. I gotta share that one. Brooke with Skip It. Yeah, I can totally see that. So you know what Skip It is by chance?
Yeah. Is it a bop it thing?
Kinda.
Skip it.
Yeah.
Bop it.
But it was something you
That's
put
what it
around.
was.
You put around your leg. Brooke, is that the right one? You put it around your leg and you just let that thing spin around.
What, ankle monitor?
Yeah, well,
What are you
yeah.
talking
It was like
about?
that was a kid ankle monitor is what that was for sure, for sure. But
That's Will.
Oh,
Will, I am. What's up, buddy? So listen, my favorite toy growing up was 100%
Using my YouTube.
all Ninja Turtle stuff.
All
I didn't have like but I used to love the Ninja Turtle. You know what I used to do?
I had the sewer.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
remember that.
So, no knocking on my mom and dad, but I do like this one. Mark says Lionel trains. Seth had a Lionel train one time. No knocking on my mom and dad, but my mom and dad would not buy like the really expensive. Like they had the skull from He-Man, like the castle, the skull catcher, Castle Gray Skull is what it was called.
Yeah.
But we, my mom and dad wouldn't spend, probably at the time it was $20, but it was a lot of $20, right? It's probably 100 and something today. But instead, you know what I would do?
What?
I would go and get a box and I would grab a knife. What are you laughing for?
I'm just
I would
thinking
grab a
you're
knife.
stealing somebody's toy or something.
No, I would grab a knife in the box and I would cut little doors and trap doors and all kinds of stuff. I would just do all kinds of stuff. Matt said, I had a hatchet for my grandfather and nearly fell and never fell. Every tree in our woods. That's crazy, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. You could go for that.
I would not be friends with that kid.
He's got a hatchet. But no, I mean, that's one of those things that's what I had to do. Growing up, I didn't get a chance to do.
Furby.
Oh, I know that
Yeah.
person.
She just bought some Furbies.
She literally has Furbies in, like, she doesn't grow up. She still has Furbies now. I'm pretty sure.
Brooke
Pretty
said she
sure of
loved
that.
Puppy surprise.
Yeah. Puppy Surprise.
that?
Yeah, that was a fun toy. That and Pound Puppies. Pound Puppies was another one that. Why are you looking at me? I didn't make the names up, sir. This is what they're called. Why are you looking at me like I'm the one to make
that sounds like some like just pound puppies, like like they're in the kennel. They're not.
Well, actually, they are. I mean, when you would buy it, you would actually buy it and it'd be like a little dog house.
Mm-hmm.
The box was the shape of a dog house. That was. Tell him, Brooke. Tell him it was the shape of a dog house, like when you bought them. But yeah, I used to love the trap doors. I'd build my own trap doors, and even my buddies would come over like, "Hey, can you build me a house box?" I guess that was just
House box.
that's what I called them.
You
I need
didn't
some
like
trap
WWE
doors.
back then? Was that not a thing?
I didn't really, I didn't like WWE when I was a child. I didn't start watching WWE until I was like 11 or 12. Unlike Kenny, I didn't play with those toys when I was 14. I'm just saying.
I was doing it to get friends.
Yeah, okay.
Let's calm down.
He still has those toys in his room, by the way.
I don't have the friends.
It's in the corner of the bathtub. All right, so
Friends left.
the friends when he's like, I'm gonna keep
Wasn't
the
worth the
toys.
price.
All right, number 9. So rewind. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We already did number 9. Number 10. Fast forward. What's a tech invention you hope exists soon? Self-driving homes, time traveling Uber.
Well, that's just useless. That's not gonna happen.
What would you? Okay, but yeah, this
Well,
is.
you wouldn't even pay him at that fucking point, would you?
But what would you do? What would be your thing? Like, what
You pay an Uber that
inventions?
just teleports you instantly.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, I was about 48.
that'd be kind of
You
cool.
You can't dispute nothing. They're
Like, dude, that'd be awesome if you
$50.
literally got
Alright.
an Uber and say, "Hey, I need to be somewhere in, 30
Sorry,
seconds,"
cancel on one of those.
and get out and you're there.
You're mid-ride
That would be
though,
me.
guys.
That'd be definitely me. I would be all about
You
that.
guys dropped me off midway.
Terrible name for puppies. He was talking about that earlier. Yeah. Yeah. Teresa says Snoopy roller coaster.
Snoop Dogg?
Snoopy, not Snoop Dogg. No. Oh, Brandon James in the house. What did he just say? WWE wrestling men and the wrestling ring. Yeah, that's true. That was true.
Somebody said lightsaber.
Yeah, that's old school too. WWF.
Rolling from an axe to a lightsaber. I'll give him that.
He loves to hit people with stuff. And here's a crazy thing about it. Going back to the WWF ring, I was too young. I was not into wrestling until I was probably, like I said, about 10 or 11. And I don't, they'll argue with it. People that know me will probably say I played with toys until I was like 18. But in reality, I don't think that I really played with any of those toys after I was about 8, maybe 9. So I remember going through the phase between 6 and 8. I had all the Batman toys, all the Ninja Turtles, and all the He-Mans. Uber. Oh, wow. That's a good one. That goes back to, at the tech convention. Sam says, get an Uber to Disney and Universal, but in the 1990s.
I don't know.
That would be, that's a good one. That's awesome.
What do you want a future invention to be?
Dude, if you jump in an Uber and you could tell them to take you to any, this
I
is
need
Back
clones.
to the Future, man.
Clones.
You'd want to be able to have, that's your invention? You want a clone machine?
You just clone yourself and they do whatever you want. And they go to work for you. You chill at home. You get paid.
But then, okay.
Then you
Let's
have
say
like
your
6
theory's
jobs.
right.
You can have like 16 jobs.
Let's say your theory's right. You have clones, right?
Everybody's a clone. You don't know who's
Yeah, who's who? Like, how do you know you're you?
You're like, dude,
You could be the clone.
Married, we're gonna have kids. It's not even the real guy.
Yeah, it's like having twin brother. Like you don't know. That'd be weird.
You're like,
Clones, twins, the whole 9 yards, man.
when can I actually meet you?
Yeah.
Give me some time.
Oh man. All
What
right.
your invention? You didn't even say.
Huh?
You say
No,
your
I'm
invention?
with Sam. I want it to be an Uber that goes to the future. I want it to look like a DeLorean.
Okay.
Did you get that reference? Anybody?
She said she want to
Yeah,
ride Jaws again.
Yeah, no, Jaws was a sweet ride, dude. I would love to be. I mean, the closest. Well, you guys kind of got to.
You see what Brandon said?
No, what it was a. Oh, it's Braylon. What's up, Braylon?
Bruh.
What's up, Braylon?
All right.
But
What's
yeah,
the next question, bro?
so I just, I think that's what's up. I would be going to the 90s and hitting up Disney and Universal. Next one.
What?
Ooh, I don't know if you guys will get this one.
We didn't get
Rewind.
this one. That didn't make sense.
Rewind. What fashion trend that needs to come back? What did you see in the 80s and 90s and pictures and stuff or movies
Long
that you wish
pants.
would come back? You mean long pants?
Really long pants. Really long jeans. Like, you know.
What do you mean?
No?
I have no-
now thing.
You mean the 80 clothes?
Yeah, like 80s.
But
All
like-
80s. Like all 80s.
Like the bright colors and stuff?
No.
Like the
That's
flip
not what
flops,
I'm...
like
We're talking like long leggings, poofy hair,
Okay, so that would be a style, I guess, fashion style, poofy hair.
a lot of
I remember
weave.
when my sisters had poofy hair. that was fun back then. All right, yeah, I mean, only thing I'd want back is those bright colored windbreakers. I'd be down for that. Windbreakers were pretty sweet back in the day.
banana clips. I think if you could walk around in medieval armor, that'd be pretty cool.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, like straight up from medieval?
Yeah.
That would be kind of
Just-
cool.
You just walk around in the mall.
But you
and
could do
got
that on an
people
Uber
on it.
that went back in time. You'd be able to do that with an Uber. You could go back and check out
I
all
don't
of
think I
that
want to go
stuff.
back to that. I think we'll die of disease in like 5 seconds.
Jello pudding pops.
Big hair.
Big hair.
Oh, big hair, definitely, for sure. Yeah,
The afro.
for sure. For sure.
You ain't got no hair. Both of y'all ain't got no hair.
Teresa had banana clips. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, too. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next one. Rewind. What was your first celebrity crush? Can you remember the first time you were like, ooh,
Hermione Granger. Or
wow, that was quick. Like you didn't even have to think about that one.
I don't know her
Okay.
name, but the
She's
person
still
I
my
created
crush.
it.
Really?
Hermione Granger.
Both of you are crushing on her?
Well, I mean, she went through a little drugs, but you know, I think
Wow.
more or less, I'd still,
Jesus Christ.
you know.
Yeah, Mark was talking about those bell bottoms. Yeah, I could totally see him.
Supposedly,
I think he might be
like
stuck. He might be
Y2K.
stuck in the 70s. I don't even know for sure. But yeah, like, so both of you are thinking Harry Potter, the girl from Harry
No,
Potter.
I was just saying.
Oh.
I was just saying.
So
that.
who's your first crush you can remember? Like,
The big sister in Good Luck Charlie,
Really?
or
I
the
think
girl
I know
from
who you're
Ant
talking
Farm.
about.
She was, I don't know,
Girl from Ant Farm.
Ant Farm, the main character,
Cheyenne McLean?
something like that.
I don't know any of their names.
I don't know either.
Do y'all remember mine? What was my first
Or
crush?
like
I don't remember.
Jessie, the girl from Jessie.
Teresa says. Teresa's got a
The
good
main
one.
Girl.
Teresa says Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp?
Oh,
Yeah.
hate to be his wife.
And Rachel Welch, Mark Baba. There you go.
I don't know who that is.
Would you see?
Haha, Brooke.
No.
You know what JTT stands for?
Justin Timberlake? Wait, no.
Ah.
That's ACL. I don't know.
What?
Well, think of Home Improvement.
I don't know. What?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You ever heard of that name?
No.
They have no idea who Jonathan Taylor Thomas is.
I
That
don't
is
know.
awesome.
Improvement
That
is
knows.
Jonathan
That shows you.
Thomas is.
Okay. Hear this. Close your eyes and think of The Lion King
No.
because he played Simba in The Lion King.
I don't even.
That's how old it is.
Voice actors are not my type of, you know.
That's awesome.
The voice actor.
That
for
is
the
so
girl
funny
in
that you
The
don't know
Lion
it.
King,
That is awesome. Good one, Brooke. I like that one. Mine was from a beautiful show called The Wonder Years. Miss Wendy Cooper. Miss Wendy
All right,
Cooper.
buddy.
Yeah.
Calm down.
That's that. Anyway, fast forward. What would be the ultimate future vacation? Would it be your space cruise, underwater city trip? Dream big. What would it be?
Are we talking about like possible?
It just says what would be the ultimate future
I'm gonna
vacation.
go possible here. We don't have flying ships.
Not yet, but we'll be getting there for
No,
sure.
Google Brandon says.
Oh my God.
What?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Brandon is probably on Ryan Reynolds, that's for sure.
He's been in some controversy right now. I don't know what's happening with him and his wife. But
It's Ryan. He'll be all right. He'll be
Something's
all right.
happening.
Well, something about his wife was getting stock, so it's all good. All
I
right,
don't know. I
so
think she was the wrong one, I think.
yeah.
Something like that.
So my future vacation would I think it'd be kind of cool to go to space. I've been thinking about it. I wouldn't mind to go to space. I don't want to stay there. I just want to kind of rotate, come back down.
Space and no destination,
Yes.
no moon or nothing?
Pretty much like the real mission space from Epcot.
Can you imagine
That's
eating
what I wanna
food
do.
on the moon?
Nope. I
Like,
don't think I'd want to
having
try to
dinner
eat food up
Cool,
there. Be a cool view. A really cool view.
See Earth.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
All right, so the next one up is going to be, what was your favorite school subject or teacher? Let's do the rewind. Favorite school, subject, or teacher?
None of this.
Shout out to the real MVP
No,
back in the day.
Out of all the subjects, what do you like the most? All right, buddy. I know. I knew you were dumb, but not this time. English.
English is your favorite?
The teachers were always lenient with me.
Because you didn't speak English or what?
No, what the? No,
Me?
he was more nice than all the other teachers.
My favorite would definitely going to be, I love social studies. I think social, because I love history. History/social studies was my favorite.
History's not nice.
Mark
Math
says
stuff,
math.
And he builds stuff for a living. Of course,
That's
he likes
true.
math.
I'm definitely not good with math. That's for
Mr.
sure.
Wonkers.
Mr. Yonker, yeah. Teresa's coming up. Teresa said, Mr. Yonker. Yes, he was an awesome English teacher. I actually had him in English too.
Why?
Yeah. That's what happens when you grow up in a small town. You have the
Ooh,
same
I know.
teachers.
I know mine.
Sam said
Same.
art, of course.
Mine's
Yeah.
liberal arts. That one's easy.
Oh, yeah. What was that again?
Math.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That was the most easiest class for me.
History's easy. Okay, Brandon.
Tits look so big, Kenny. Damn.
My tits don't even look big in the camera.
Woo! Wow.
Except
I
someone
wonder if that's still
slouched
Braylon.
over.
I think that might be Braylon still.
Oh, okay, buddy.
Okay.
What's up with the OBJ every time, bro?
Interpersonal.
That's because they're using it, some kind of emoji that is not qualified.
What is that?
What?
Interpersonal.
Communications?
Clearly an English class or something. Or language class at least.
Or a learning how to be nice class. That's what you both need to be doing right now.
I got my tits called
All right. All right. So the next one's going to be coming up. This one is what's fast forward. All right.
Okay.
Fast forward. What's a career or skill you wish you could learn instantly? Like push a button, download into your brain instantly. What's it going to be?
What is it, Seth? Come on. Get some answers. in.
Construction.
Mine's
Construction?
Spanish. I want mine to be
What would you
Spanish.
do with construction? What
If
would you
I
do?
wish I could learn
You don't even
Spanish.
go out of the house. How are
I
you going
want
to
to
build
build my
something?
own house.
How?
What are you talking about?
You don't even go out of your room. How are you going to build a house?
I want to build my own too.
What about you, Dad?
Build it. Spanish. I want to learn instantly. Spanish. Boom. One button.
Spanish.
I would do
Of all
so well.
language, you could learn
Spanish.
Bro, I already know like
French is
four
like
words in
supposedly
French,
the hottest
I will
language.
never
You're going with
use. Spanish, I want to learn. I could be useful for me.
I'd learn coding.
No, it's Brandon.
Words like
That's
sports
Sports Bra.
Mine's coding. I'd be able to make a lot of money.
Teresa had a good one. She said she would instantly be a doctor. That would be pretty cool. Just one button, boom. I'd be.
The only way I'd be saving people was for money.
That's funny. All right, cool. All right, so the next one. Wow, this one's could be debatable, so we got to be careful on this one. Fast forward. How will we be watching movies in 10 years?
In our
On a
dreams.
bigger TV.
Do you think it'd be holograms? Will it be such thing as mind streaming?
In
Or you're
VR.
sleeping, or
Would
you
it be
close your eyes.
Netflix in your sunglasses? What do you think?
Ooh. What was the first one?
Sam asked what Spanish.
Yeah, all of Spanish, from every Spanish related Spanish that you could get. Spanish. That would be.
Brandon basically just saying
Spanish.
he'd be a businessman.
He's an entrepreneur.
There you go. Just push a button and be rich.
Through glasses.
So Mark says you'd be watching movies through glasses, which I mean I can see that too. I don't know, like you don't. They've
VR
got
is
so
more
much.
likely.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
but VR, you have to stop what you're doing. Like
Not in the future.
that's what I'm asking. Like, is it going to be something
You're
where
gonna be
VR is
sleeping.
not going to be
It's
in
like
your
a slumber
eyes?
induced thing where you just go into it.
I'm just wondering if it's going to be like a drop or something that goes in your eye, then you could watch it or whatever. That'd be
What?
kind of
Or
crazy.
you just lay down and close your eyes and just see it. Boom.
That's what I'm saying. But like, it would be something that they
I'm
would
not
put
letting
into your
anybody
eye.
Put a goddamn chip in me, bro.
Why not?
I would.
Nothing wrong with that.
Except be the first experiment failed.
No, I'm on the scene.
100%.
All right, here's the next one, guys. We're almost done. We've only got 2 more left. But listen to this one. Fast forward. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What legacy would you want to
Well, I
leave
don't think any
behind?
of us are going to leave anything behind, first of all. I don't think any of us going to have enough momentum to
Oh.
make an impact.
No, I think I'm going to impact
Unless
the
you have a
world.
really cool pizza idea, I think we're cooked.
No, I maybe. I mean, having a good pizza idea would definitely help. I think my impact is
Make a new fruit.
make a new fruit.
Make a new fruit. That's how you get
That is-
recognition.
Where does he come up with the stuff that he comes up with?
Who
I
wanted
don't know.
chip
Make
in
a
your
new
brain?
So for me, I think my legacy I want is to be known as the entertainer, the fun thing, the guy that people would watch, entertaining, fun, family friendly, unlike some people.
Seth's gonna his legacy is gonna be gambling.
Maybe you become a rich gambler,
No,
a good one.
That's not how. That
What you
works.
mean no?
It's not how it works. You don't become a rich.
He'd be a
gambler.
bad gambler. Is that what you're saying?
You
He'd be
keep spending your money, you're not gonna
he'd be the
good.
next Pete Ross. That's probably what he'll
If he
do.
wins too much money, they're not gonna let him in.
Yeah. Sam said you can get a chip in your brain.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
That way you can just watch those shows whenever and download it instantly. Hey,
You can do that at work.
right. I mean, think
You're
about
like
it.
spacing out there, yeah.
Yeah, like,
hitting your head.
you know, that's some biblical stuff right there. But you imagine being able to put a chip in your mind and download instantly every language that you wanted to use and be able to literally like turn the TV on with your mind, be able to order a pizza with your mind using a microchip. It would be a cell phone too. Like you'd be able to talk.
People would be so much more fat.
Yeah.
I don't
You have
know,
to move.
maybe.
You just sit there and
Well,
go,
hey.
oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's probably
Play some games.
What the hell was the other question? I forgot what it was, and I just don't know what the answers are.
huh?
What was the last question we were asking?
It was legacy.
What's
What would
legacy?
you leave?
Oh,
And
okay.
Sam said she'd leave
Best
tiny home
grandma
community.
ever.
That'd be a good one.
Like
A family broke,
grandkids.
and I created.
Yeah, Teresa said she wants to be known to be the best grandma ever. That's a good one. That's a good one. Good. Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, Matt.
He said
Family,
he just want grandkids.
Brooke and I created. That's good.
And family.
That's what that is, Seth.
Yeah, grandkids and family. That's what.
No,
Didn't know if you knew that or not, but that's what they do.
I could revisit that. Son.
All right, we're supposed to go into the last
All
question.
right, we got one more. So, actually, there was 2 more left. Remember, I said
Okay,
there was
well,
3 down.
You said
24.
two. No,
Number
you said two.
24. No, I didn't.
You said 2
Number
last
24.
time.
Hush. Number 24. Rewind. What was the coolest thing about the 90s and 2000? This is for me. This isn't for you guys. The coolest thing about the 90s and 2000 was the wrestling.
You could
100%.
smoke drugs easier.
Huh? No. It wasn't fun about
You
that.
can use drugs easier in 1990s.
Not really.
You could murder.
More people
somebody.
got caught. I think you definitely could murder people.
You could do anything easier.
Yeah.
and
That's true. You didn't have like all the investigational craziness.
No cameras. And
So-
so the camera
No
would be like 2
witnesses.
feet.
The coolest thing about the 90s and 2000s is you got by with stuff.
Yeah.
That's basically what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
You got by with stuff. No, I agree.
I think
I
we
agree.
should ban Brandon.
Ban Brandon.
Why you put it on goddamn screen, dude?
Because
You trying to
talking
blast
about those-
me on here, man?
he's talking about Kenny's boobs there.
I think bro's falling in love with me.
I think so. All right, last
certain somebody.
but not least, this is the last one, and then we'll have some closing arguments. But fast forward, what would you put in a time capsule for the year 2075? 50 years from now.
I'd be dead.
Right.
gonna
But
find
what
it?
would you
Like
would
some
bury
other
it.
people
You would
just-
tell people where it's at.
Okay, so there'd be like an
50
annual
years.
time capsule day. They all take it out. They read it like this.
Not every year. It would be one time. 50 years from now, they know where it's at. They are instructed not to open it. 50 years from now.
So they're opening it for us?
You'll be dead, yes. But the whole idea is...
Hey.
The whole idea is that
100%.
50 years from now...
We could be immortal in like 20 years. You never know.
I'd hope not. So 50 years from now, what would you put in that capsule? What would you put there from... What would you... I got some bad stuff going through my head. What would you put in your capsule?
I'd put some old stuff that like, well, in our time it's not old, but or maybe even older stuff, like super old stuff. It might not even be a thing in the future. Like some old, I put some discs that are like, oh, these are my favorite movies. You know, these are my favorite things I read. Blah blah, all the stupid crap, and then I'll write like a manifesto.
So it's gonna be like a book about you. That's what you basically.
It's like books I read.
Oh, so it's like
then at the end, I'll like write my will.
Yeah, but those books could be around. What if this was
whoever's
something?
Reading it gets whatever I have. That's reasonable. You're lucky.
What about you, Seth? What would you put in the capsule? Laura said COVID.
Oh my god. Yeah. Mark said Kenny's boobs.
Kenny's boobs. Oh my god. 50 years from now. Let's see what Teresa says. 50 years from now, the only left will be my That's funny. But COVID, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
What I would put in my capsule is probably my DNA.
What? Who would want your DNA?
Oh, you said 50 years from now.
They're going to clone them and give up.
Clone me.
So, okay. That's where you're going with this?
Yes.
50 years from now, you're going to put your DNA, so in 50 years they get it, and clone you.
Yep.
Do you think it's even a possibility that if they clone you in 50 years, they're going to take a look at that clone and go, what the hell did we do? Like that Jurassic Park moment. They're
we'll probably get hit by a meteorite before.
I was cute as a kid, all right?
What happened?
Yeah, they'll make sure they're normal now.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
I ate a lot of ice cream and didn't exercise. That's what happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Brendan says VHS. A VHS tape when I have when I'm growing up. Y'all know what VHS is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure you remember.
I don't know what it stands for.
You're weirdos. That's what Britt said.
LOL.
You're weirdos.
What? I want to live in the night or.
So, like, that's just weird.
2015.
I don't know if I would
live in the future, first of all. I would not want to keep living.
I do.
Matt had a pretty good one. He said the original iPod. Imagine how iPhones are going to look like in 50 years from now.
Probably the same thing, just a few more buttons.
Yeah.
You know, like they're doing it now.
Kind of like one.
Like we'll give you a little more inch on the screen for you.
Yeah.
Here's your
That's crazy.
14th camera.
That is just insane.
Here's an extra button for you to call.
Right.
You want friends?
No, 100%.
Look up some AI.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, the only thing I'd put in that capsule, there's one thing I'd put in there.
Your Roosevelt shirts.
You literally read my mind.
There's no way.
I for 100% was going to say a Roosevelt shirt because I wonder if Roosevelts are going to be. It's just as popular now as they are in 50 years. And if this is a popular shirt, I wonder in 50 years how much it's going to be worth.
Nothing. They're not even know what it is.
Yes, they will. It'll be whatever.
They're like, one of the Teenage Mutant Turtle ones.
I would love to get my Ninja Turtle one. No, I don't know. I won't be buried in my Ninja Turtle one. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Thank you guys for watching the podcast here live. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Be sure that you... No, that's it. That's it, man.
Also, I do know what a VHS is.
I don't know.
I don't know what it stands for, but I know what it is.
What?
But we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Next time, don't talk about boobs.
No boob talking for kids.